Hello, trading is closed on the 14th of October 2020. Let's do our disclaimer first, and we'll go over our calls. This is my trading plan for tomorrow, the 15th of October 2020. Remember, if we gap sharply in the undesired direction, it kills the call before the open. There's no guarantee of accuracy. Please trade at your own risk. Anybody wants to contact me, my address is MEJT.trades@gmail.com. Look for the pattern with the early high. This is it. Tomorrow's pattern also has the early high. Typically, it's a rally day. Failure is a straight line drop, and that's a straight line drop. We said the one thing that would kill the somewhat positive action we had yesterday is if we gapped and promptly undercut this low. That's what we did. Come back to this in just a minute. During the afternoon, MEJT said this drop was false. We retraced. Said this rally was false. We retraced. That's already happened. I don't use to mark stuff anymore. It's failed too many times. But this is a weekly chart. Last 3 bars of his combo sell signal. Don't have to obey all the rules. This is bar 13. I'm not saying it'll work, but if it works, typically leads to a pretty big drop, especially when it's a weekly chart and not a daily chart. The longer the duration of the bar, the more significant the move when the thing works. It just doesn't work. Well, it doesn't work often enough for me. Well, here's some more bad news for the bulls. Here was our trend line. We gapped over it. That's a break. But you need a confirmation by trading 1 cent over Monday's close for confirmation. That never happened. And now we haven't even held the gap. So that's marked as a false move. Now the false move just means you're going to retrace to the line. So that's already happened. But it isn't that it's negative in and of itself. It's that the positive signal didn't work. Because it was invalidated by not holding a gap. This count's still working, and I'm certain other counts work too. But as long as it keeps working, I'm going to stick with it. And it's compatible with a wave green C comparable to green A. Frankly, it doesn't look all that horrible to me at this point. We just have to be aware, just because it doesn't look that horrible to me, doesn't make me right. And at least we have a pattern which could lead to a pretty big drop. This was Monday's rally. Here's the first reaction down to the gap up. That's support. Here's the successful test of support at 35.01. Here's the rally. That rally did not clear the prior high, which is here. So we now have a series of lower highs and lower lows. That's not bullish. It is somewhat positive. After dropping all day, we closed over all these lows. That positivity goes away if we gap in either direction, undercut these lows promptly. If you're a bear, that's what you want to do. The positive implications of not taking out these lows are somewhat ameliorated by the fact that we stopped right at resistance and we still haven't closed the gap we had Monday. When you're this close, it'll normally fill. So not only do we stop at resistance, we have a lower target. I can't even be convinced any drop is going to stop here because even though the patterns we have don't require much lower prices, they're certainly compatible with a pretty steep drop. It doesn't mean it won't recover, and I think if we have a drop, it'll recover before the end of the month, just a question of where it recovers from. Tomorrow's pattern has the early high, doesn't mean you won't gap down. Today's normally bullish pattern was bearish instead. Usually it's followed by additional weakness. That's what I expect to see tomorrow. Just remember, if we gap up smartly, it kills the call before the open. Early high tomorrow. It's a negative pattern. Should see lower prices, particularly if we gap and take this out fast. And that's today's call.